any technology issues, just type that into the chat function, and we've got people behind the scenes who can troubleshoot the issue for you. If you're just joining, welcome to the Living Longer, Living Smarter virtual Connect and Learn event hosted by AARP North Dakota. I'm Bob Entringer, an AARP North Dakota virtual volunteer. Enjoy the slides that are showing. As you can see, there's some upcoming events and opportunities for learning more. Again, this is a Zoom webinar and all attendees' microphones are muted. So enjoy the event. If you have any questions during the event, just use the Q&A button at the bottom. And it is 1 o'clock, and I will turn it over to Connie Grandal. Connie, take it away.
Well, hi. Thank you, Bob. And hello and welcome to everyone. My name is Connie Grandal, and I'm another volunteer with AARP of North Dakota. I've been volunteering for AARP for a few years now, and I really appreciate all that AARP does to enhance our lives. Thank you for joining, and I look forward to facilitating today's webinar. The information on ways to stay healthy always seems to catch my attention. Today's discussion is all about helping you live longer and smarter. Living longer, living smarter is about preparing for the future. None of us can predict what tomorrow might bring. Knowledge is power, and when we learn about our options for independent living, the knowledge does help us for the rest of our lives. During the session today, we've been utilizing two features within Zoom, the chat. Some folks have already practiced, so let's take a look to see where the chat is, because I'll be asking some questions during our time together, and I would wholeheartedly invite you to answer through the chat. So if everyone can find the chat and just add maybe their first name and where they're from, it would be nice to know who's there. And also, as Bob mentioned, we'll be using the Q&A feature for question and answers. We'll pause at the end of the presentation to answer those questions. So let's see, we've got Wendy from Mandan. Hi, Denise from West Fargo, and Jerry from Bismarck. Welcome, everybody. I know it's a very cold day in Fargo. That's where I'm from. It's just a beautiful sunny day despite the cold. So yes, keep practicing. All right, next slide, please. I've got a whole team behind me and they're going to advance the slides for me. So for the first time in history, long life isn't a rare, the next slide. There we go. The first time in history, long life isn't a rarity. If you're 50, you have half your life ahead of you. If you are born today, about half of you would live to be 100. And the fastest growing age group is adults 85 and over. The choices that we make now will steer us towards the future that we want. We'll focus on health today and explore a variety of topics, tips, and resources. A healthy lifestyle includes taking positive steps to prevent disease and manage ongoing conditions. We'll discuss specific ways you can increase your chances for a healthy future by taking a look at family health history, screenings and immunizations, managing your medications, making positive health choices, brain health, and we're going to take a peek at new healthcare technology and tools. Next slide. Some of us have heard this quote, if I'd known I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. Another saying along these lines is the secret to a long, healthy life is to choose your parents well. But today we know that only about 20% of a person's health is due to genetics. About another 20% is due to the medical care that we receive. The other 60% is due to social, behavior, and environmental factors, many of which we influence by the choices we make throughout our lives. What we eat, the type and frequency of exercise that we do, where we live, the quality of relationships, whether we smoke, and how we handle stress. As a matter of fact, making unhealthy life choices in these areas are responsible for 70% of strokes and colon cancer cases, 80% of heart disease, and 90% of adult onset diabetes. Healthy behaviors can help you lessen your chances of developing these chronic conditions. This in turn can reduce healthcare costs and help us to live independently. Next slide. Your family's medical history can provide many important clues about your health issues that you may have or develop. Your doctor might use this information to recommend early or more frequent screenings for a particular problem, such as high blood pressure or breast cancer, and may suggest some lifestyle changes to maintain your health and well-being. To help you get organized, the Surgeon General has an internet-based tool called My Family Health Portrait. We have the link in the chat, or we'll have it there soon. You can use this tool to create a healthy family history and learn your risks for certain diseases and share important information with other family members too. Now let's turn to a story that we're going to follow throughout our time together. It's a story about how family health history was an important factor in one woman's life named Tanya. Like many women in her 50s, Tanya's plate is very full. She manages a marketing department, volunteers at a homeless shelter, babysits her grandson, Evan, and until he entered assisted living facility last month, Tanya helped care for her dad. Tanya is concerned about her family's history of diabetes and decided to consult her doctor when she felt ran down. The doctor expressed concerns about her level of stress and weight. We'll continue Tanya's story as we go today. Next slide. Screenings. Let's take a look at screenings. The government recommends specific screenings for women and men at various times in their life. Screening tests can help catch diseases early when they are easier to treat. Common tests include blood pressure, cholesterol, depression, diabetes, phosphate. The doctor may also discuss HIV testing. Women should get mammograms, Pap tests, and osteoporosis screenings to remain healthy and active. I know an osteoporosis screening for me really made a difference. I had a bone marrow done, or a bone mass done a couple years ago, and found out that I have low bone density. I'm this close to having osteoporosis. It really made a difference. I was able to now make a couple of lifestyle changes, and I'm hoping to maintain the bone I have. I can't get it back, but now that I know and I had that screening, I can do things to help maintain that. And ask your doctor if you've had the appropriate screenings, and if not, request them. The U.S. Preventative Service Force, another link in the chat, is designed to help you and your doctor decide if a screening is right for you. Another great resource is the Women's Health website. You'll find that link in the chat, and you can find more information on health and screening there as well. Let's return to our friend Tanya's story. Her doctor had her undergo a number of tests. He identified that she had high blood pressure and diabetes. Because Tanya's mother died from complications of these diseases, both Tanya and her doctor were deeply concerned. Next slide. Let's look at immunizations now too. In addition, doctors recommend certain immunizations for adults, such as flu, pneumonia. Talk to your doctor whether you need tetanus, hepatitis, measles, shingles, chickenpox, or other shots or boosters. In Tanya's case, her doctor gave her a number of overdue vaccinations and explained that she needed to make some lifestyle changes to maintain her health. He also prescribed medications to treat her high blood pressure and diabetes. Next slide. Medications. Adults 65 and older take an average of 5 prescription drugs daily. In addition, there's vitamins, supplements, and over-the-counter medications that might be used. And 15% of all Americans regularly take 5 or more medications. Prescription medication use is widespread and complex and increasingly risky. Medication errors account for nearly 700,000 emergency department visits a year and 100,000 hospitalizations. It's important to understand how these products react in your own body and interact with each other. You can avoid dangerous side effects by knowing this information. And it's a very good idea to maintain an up-to-date record of the medications that you take. One resource to track your medications is AARP's personal medication record. As always, the link is in your chat. Be sure to include, when you download this form, the following information on the form: the medication you are taking and the purpose why you're taking it. The form, is it a tablet? Is it an injection? Is it a patch? The dosage and dosage history, why your doctor increased or decreased the dosage, how much of the medication you take and when you take it, and the time of day when you typically take it. The use, record if you take it regularly or only occasionally, when you started, when you stopped taking the medication, and note any side effects that you experience or other pertinent information. I would also suggest adding vitamins, supplements, and over-the-counter medications that you take on a regular basis as well. Individuals who need to know this information are your doctors, your pharmacist, and a friend or family member. Keep one in your wallet and one on your smartphone, just in case you're ever hospitalized in an emergency. And you should keep a copy at home. And I have seen firsthand how handy this information is. My husband went in for surgery a little while ago, and as he was prepping for surgery, the anesthesiologist had a question that he couldn't answer without looking at the information that he had on his phone. Tanya found it a little difficult to keep track of her new blood pressure and diabetes medications. She completed the form and taped it to the refrigerator. She also made a copy to carry in her purse. At her next doctor's appointment, Tanya gave her doctor a copy. When she shared it with her pharmacist, the next time she was in for prescriptions. Now let's talk about additional actions which can truly make a difference in your health. You play a key role in your own good health. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services recommends the following steps. Don't smoke. Studies have shown that the individuals who don't smoke are at a lower risk for lung cancer, heart disease, and stroke. Be physically active. Exercise helps prevent diabetes, heart disease, can fight depression, and may even keep your brain fit. If you aren't already physically active, start small and work your way up to about 150 minutes or more of moderate physical activity each week, like walking or swimming. And you should always talk with the doctor before you start a new exercise routine. Eat a healthy diet. New federal guidelines suggest filling half your plate with fruits and vegetables, a quarter of your plate with grains, and the remaining quarter with lean protein. To stay healthy, limit or avoid foods that are high in saturated fat, trans fat, cholesterol, salt, artificial flavors or preservatives, and added sugars. Check out the choosemyplate.gov website that we have listed in the chat. Control your weight. Be familiar with your weight range and how many calories a day it takes to stay within that range. If necessary, start making small changes to your diet and lifestyle. Balance the calories you take in from food with the drink and with food and drink with the calories that you burn off. Portion size also matters. Drink alcohol in moderation. If you drink, try to limit to yourself to just one drink a day. And a standard drink is 12-ounce bottle of beer or a wine cooler, 1 5-ounce glass of wine, or a 1.5 ounce of spirits, which is gin, vodka, whiskey, etc., etc. Now let's take a brief look at this list. If you're willing to share, what's one thing that you could do, just a small thing to improve your health with one of these? For me, when I take a look at it, I kind of zoomed in on the healthy eating. I am blessed to have my grandchildren here 3 days a week after school, and I do make them an after-school snack. Well, along with them having an after-school snack, I tend to also snack, and I haven't expelled all the energy they have at school. Truth be told, I really don't need an after-school snack. I'm trying to, I don't think I'll be able to eliminate entirely, but I'm trying to reduce my snacking. So if you are comfortable sharing, what are the things that you might do? If I can get my chat back here. Anyone want to share anything, a healthier diet? Awesome. More activity. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. More exercise regularly. Yes, yes. All of those are just excellent. And let me stop here for just a second. Hold on. There we go. Okay, now I'm back. All right. I had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. All right. These are all such great, great ideas. And in my experience, that when we change or form new habits or think of something new, it can be hard. Be kind to yourself and patient to yourself. New habits really do take time. And if those new habits aren't working, reassess and why they don't seem to be working. And ask yourself what will be working. And I always have to remind myself too that it's not really a success or a failure. It's not really all or nothing. Most of my choices lie in between. So if I am not feeling the best one day, I may not exercise. So the next day I make sure, if I'm feeling better, that I get back into it again. It's okay to take a break from things. So yes, yes, yes. The thing to remember though is each smart, healthy choice that we do make does increase our chances of living the healthy life that we want. All right, next slide. And now we're going to utilize a feature called a poll. Take a look at the 5 things here on the screen and see which one do you think is most important to brain health. Most important to brain health. And I am looking for the poll. All right. Do we see the poll? Is the poll up? There it is. Okay. There's the poll. Which of the 5? You go ahead and click on one of the 5 is most important for brain health. And let's just close the poll. It's just a really quick little thing. Let's see what we have. Okay, so we've got discover out there, kind of discover some new things, connections, moving, relax, nourish. Yes, all of those, and believe it or not, they're all important. I have to confess up, it was a kind of a trick question because they all are important and necessary for brain health. Next slide. So just like the rest of your body, your lifestyle can have a big effect on your brain health as well. So let's take a look at these 5 activities. Move. Not only does movement and exercise increase your brain power by helping you to grow, repair, and maintain brain cells, it can also make you more productive and alert throughout the day. I know that when I spend too much time on the computer, or even if I am reading for a great length of time, my brain kind of gets sluggish sometimes. And I have found that if I just step away and do something active for 2 minutes, that's all it takes. Whether it's going outside and taking a deep breath of air, or I will too put on a song on my phone and just kind of dance around to it a little bit. All of that just kind of revitalizes my brain. Discover. That was our leading one, and it is learn new things, learn a new language, or even a new game. Get your neurons firing, and help strengthen your brain. Relax. Chronic stress can affect your ability to learn or adapt to new situations. Consider learning some relaxation techniques such as yoga, meditation, or even just taking a soothing walk around the block. Nourish. Diet can affect brain health. Diets high in saturated fats, like beef or cheese, may lead to memory and cognitive decline. Brain healthy diets, which are high in monounsaturated fats, such as olive oil and avocados, may protect our brain against disease. And connect. A diverse social network can improve our brain's flexibility and help preserve your cognitive abilities. Interacting with friends by playing golf, participating in a book club, or any other social activity not only can help reduce stress, but boost your immune system too. And it may also reduce your risk of dementia. All right. Next slide. Yes, new healthcare technology and tools. Technology continues to enhance healthcare. Wearable devices, such as wristbands, can record everything from the number of steps you take to your sleep cycles. The accompanying apps can help guide you to improve nutrition and fitness while providing your doctors with valuable information. In the chat, if you're willing to share, does anybody have a wearable device? And if so, what's your favorite app? Let's see if anybody, I'll keep going on, and we'll, if I see any new, oh, yes, a watch to track your exercise. That's awesome. I've been thinking about one of those too. A Fitbit, yep. It'd be nice to know how many steps I do get during the day, just how active I am. Fitbit. A Run Keeper. Oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome. All these new technology, and who knew? They keep coming out with different things all the time. And telemedicine, let's move on to that. Services and tools that enable you to remotely consult with your doctor. And this information can be shared by two-way video, email, smartphones, and other forms of technology. At-home monitoring means that nurses and doctors can keep a close watch on patients from anywhere. This process is coordinated in collaboration with the patient. Enhanced diagnostic tools. Illnesses such as diabetes and cancer enable doctors to determine and resolve health issues sooner. A variety of emerging technologies are aimed at going inside the body without really going inside. Genetic testing and gene therapy can identify who's at risk for certain diseases, as well as determine the best treatment. And an example of this is the Food and Drug Administration has posted on its website more than 150 medications for which DNA screenings can help avoid futile or adverse reactions. And it also determines optimal dosages. And I know for me, I did have a DNA test, and I was so surprised to find out there are 3 drugs that are commonly used to treat cancer, that if I were to take those at the doses that are regularly prescribed, they would be toxic to me and might even be fatal. That DNA test was totally worth it for me. Now let's turn to Tanya once more and her story. Tanya started taking steps to improve her health. She now has a protein smoothie for breakfast every day, walks 3 days a week with coworkers during her lunch break, and packs a healthy lunch to avoid fast food. She's also joined a gym and exercises on a regular basis. She socializes more and works less. Tanya feels better physically, mentally, and emotionally after taking control of her health. By taking proper care of her body and brain and taking advantage of medical technology, such as wearable fitness devices to achieve her goals, Tanya should be able to maintain her health and happiness. So now we are going to pause a moment and find out if there are any questions to be answered. And also some folks don't feel comfortable knowing that this is being recorded to ask their question right now. So we will stop the recording later and pause to see if there's any more questions. So let me pull this over and see if there are any questions. Is there certain types of exercise that is better for you than others? I am not an expert in that. I would ask your doctor as far as is that information, and to take your health into consideration as well. And even a fitness trainer. There are numerous gyms in the area with certified trainers who could also help with that. And what is your favorite after-school snack for the grandkids? Well, I'm told that I kind of spoil my grandchildren, and they have a wide range of snacks, anywhere from, one of their favorites is plain old soda crackers with butter. I know, who'd have thought? But we do balance that. Grandma has to make sure that they either have an apple or an orange or some other healthy thing thrown in there as well. Okay, so let's move on. That's the only 2 questions I see. The health session that we've just completed was designed to help you see yourself in the future and create a plan. On the AARP Living Longer, Living Smarter website, the link is in the chat, you can find resource for tools, and the topics are part of this program. It's not just health, it is also finances, home and community, and legal considerations. There is a world of information out there. The choices that we make now will steer us toward the future we want. And remember, we don't have to make all this planning at once. We can take it one topic at a time, depending on our priorities. AARP also offers more information, resources in in-person events and self-paced learning too. Two more resources that I want to mention here are AARP Learning 50 Plus website. It has information about local in-person events, interactive educational videos, webinars on caregiving, and much, much more. And another resource is the Caregiving Resource Center. If you are a caregiver, this is a central hub for all things caregiving on AARP. You can read the latest articles, tips, and advice. You can find both these links in your chat. I hope that you've enjoyed today's webinar and find that the information and resources will be of value to you. It's important to prepare for our own longevity so that we can live the best life possible. So thank you again for joining us. And I want to say a personal thank you to the crew behind the scenes. There's Josh and Marnie and Janelle and Wendy and Bob. It truly takes a team to put any one of these types of things on. So thank you to them too. And I will turn it back over.
Okay. Thanks, Connie. That was great information. And for those of you that are still on, this program and most others are recorded so that they can be viewed later. You can find them on the AARP North Dakota YouTube channel at youtube.com/AARPND. All upcoming and recorded events can be found also at aarp.org/ND events. So thank you all for joining us for the Living Longer, Living Smarter Health. And the video